In this video, I'll show you how to construct this part. It's got a couple of unique work planes as part of the construction technique, and that's really what I want to show you. So I went ahead and started the base of it. It's just a simple rectangle. So now we have this angled surface that comes off of here, and it's the start of that angled surface is 1 inch over. So what we're going to do is create a work plane. So make sure you're on the Features tab, Reference Geometry Plane, and click on this surface. I was trying to offset it in this direction to the right. We want to go the other way. So flip the offset, and the distance is going to be 1 inch. So you can see there's our plane. If you click on those balls, you can expand this thing so it's a little easier to see. Now what we need to do is rotate that plane by 60 degrees. In order to rotate a plane, you have to have an axis. And there's a couple of different ways you can create an axis. If you come up here to Reference Geometry, Axis, the way we're going to use is by two planes. So we'll use this plane and we'll use this surface. And say OK. That line right there, that's our axis. So now we can take and rotate that plane about that axis. So back to Reference Geometry Plane. Click on Plane 1. So make sure when you do this, make sure you control your inputs because it already had the last input in there. So the plane is my first input. My second input is the axis. And now you've got several options, but if you come over here and click on At Angle, now you can put your angle in. So you may have to play with this a little bit. Now what we're looking for is a 60-degree angle, but the question is which direction. Now that's clearly not the right direction, but you can flip the offset, and that looks like our 60-degree angle. So from here to here is 60 degrees, so that's what we want. So that's the plane we're going to work on. I'm just going to turn this one off for the time being. So we'll sketch on that plane that we just created. Oops, good dimension. That's a 2-inch diameter, so it should touch the sides. Oops. Yeah, so we can verify that by going side to side, but we should be good on that. Yeah, we're okay. And then we also are going to connect these quadrants from the quadrant there down to the axis, and then from the axis back up to the quadrant. Oops. One line too many. Delete that. And I do need another dimension to get that height there correct. That should be 1 inch. Use my trim tool to remove that part of the circle. And we'll finish the sketch. And let's go ahead and extrude that now. Oops, gotta exit our sketch. And we'll want to extrude it down to next. So go up to next. And we do have a hole in that. Let's go ahead and put the hole in that surface. That's a 3/4 diameter. Find the center. Finish the sketch. And extrude cut. Let's turn that plane off now. So we got the overall shape of this pretty good. So again, what we did was offset a plane over here, then rotated that plane down and use that as our sketch plane. This also has a hole in the back, which is a little bit tricky. So once again, we'll go back to our planes. Let's look at plane 1 again. Just turn that back on. But I need to, in order to put a hole in this, and that hole is going to be perpendicular in this way, so I need to rotate this axis. I'm sorry, rotate that plane again. Now, since that was a 60-degree angle there, that's going to be a 30-degree. So let's create another reference plane based on that plane and that axis. And going for a 30. And that looks like that's the proper angle, but now we'll have to do an offset. So many times there's multiple steps that go into this to getting the plane that you need. Turn that a little. So plane 3, and I want to do an offset. I want to flip it, and that distance there is going to be 2 inches to get to the outside of the part. And again, you can, just as a visual, you can stretch it down so you can see that. I'll hide these planes. We're going to sketch on there. Another good reference is to have a plane that runs through the middle so you know where the center, in this case, the way that I constructed, and again, I always construct it around a mid plane. I can use that front plane. So let's do a new sketch on that plane 4. And again, it kind of flipped around, but that's okay. I can see exactly what I'm doing here just by moving it around. Make sure you put that hole on that mid plane so you have it located at least in one direction. The size of that hole in this case is a 3/8, and it is 1/2 inch. From there to there is 0.5. So there's my sketch. Again, the sketch is on the plane. It's not actually on that cylinder. Extrude cut that, and it should go all the way through. Turn off my planes. And as you do more complicated parts, you accumulate a fair amount of planes, and turn off the axis. And there's my finished part.